The portal's crystalline frame hummed with energy, a vibration settling deep in Kale's teeth, a tactile reminder of the light years stretching behind him. Stepping onto Valdora was like walking on solid breath. Platforms of translucent light pulsed beneath his boots, the air tasting of ozone and something sweetly metallic, reminiscent of a grandmother's silver jewelry box. Counselor Vex, a towering figure defined by elegantly curved ears, warned him about the quantum stabilizers. "Don't fall," Vex advised, his tone clipping with bureaucratic caution. "The city hasn't learned your biosignature yet." Looking down at the spires twisting through clouds that sparkled with inner fire, Kale gripped his diplomatic satchel tighter. It is a vertigo we all know, standing on the precipice of a world that operates on rules we have yet to dream of. The architecture here was alive, a fluid entity, shifting with emotional currents. Vex warned that a stray anxious thought might land one in a linen closet, for the palace was less a building and more a reactive pet that hadn't learned manners. In the throne room, a space defying physics with swirling star maps and misty ceilings, Queen Ilera awaited. She was a living sculpture of light and shadow, beautiful, yet burdened by the weight of the universe's darker corners. She noted Kale's small stature compared to Earth's action heroes. Kale, ever the pragmatist, admitted Hollywood exaggerated. Their conversation turned to the crux of his mission: humanity's fractured nature. The Queen asked how they could trust a species that couldn't agree with itself, citing the shifting governments of Earth. Kale's answer was the weapon of the underdog. Friction breeds innovation. Uniformity is stagnation. He confessed he was chosen not for brilliance, but for his exceptional unremarkableness. A Swiss Army knife of diplomacy, bland but versatile. The palace pulsed warmly at this, learning to recognize him not as a threat, but as a curiosity. The following morning was a masterclass in controlled humiliation. A cleansing station, misinterpreting his biorhythms, engulfed him in strawberry-scented foam, leaving him looking like the victim of a cotton candy machine explosion, before recasting his pajamas as clinging nanofibers that tried to massage him. A reading lesson accidentally summoned a localized thunderstorm, and a driving lesson, intended for the dining hall, ended in the laundry facility because the vehicle detected his subconscious stress. The palace was observing his erratic human nature with something akin to amusement. Then, the reality of politics intruded. Dawn brought the wail of alarms. Commander Thane, a revolutionary who cropped his ears to reject tradition, had returned. He brought 47 ships equipped with quantum disruptors designed to kill the palace's probability fields. In the war room, Admiral Zephyr, scarred and skeptical, watched the red dots advance. Thane's plan was efficient: blind the technology, then board. Kale, completely out of his depth, yet uniquely qualified, offered a solution born of human history books and action movies. If Thane expects a tech defense, give him broken chaos. Don't just turn it off. Make the palace have a controlled nervous breakdown. They triggered the defensive chaos protocol. The bioluminescence died, plunging corridors into twilight. Then, the reorganization began. The floor shuddered, walls dissolved, and the palace began to tumble through space-time. Thane's voice crackled over the comms, panic rising as his troops found corridors leading back to themselves. It's the fog of war, reimagined as a funhouse mirror. Kale, separated from the group, navigated a library sorting books by emotional resonance, romance novels nestling against quantum physics texts, before finding his way to the transformed throne room, now a cozy, protective nest. There sat Princess Zara, a child with ears reaching her shoulders, tuning into the quantum noise. She revealed the truth. The palace was laughing. It enjoyed the humans' zigzag thinking. But the mood shattered as Tane's elite soldiers cut through the walls with harsh, white light. They demanded the queen and the child. Zara whispered that the palace was crying. The soldiers' minds were too sharp, too metallic, slicing through the quantum consciousness. When a soldier raised a weapon, the nanofibers that had dogged Kale's steps suddenly solidified, weaving a metallic shield. The palace wasn't just confused, it was protective. It had adopted the human. The turn came when Thane watched via hologram as the room expanded into infinite distance, defying physics. Zara spoke for the building. It felt creative now. The surrender negotiation was less a treaty and more a therapy session. Thane argued that inferior cultures corrupt. Kale argued they enhance. To prove it, Kale visualized the impossible. Vegetables dancing with dragons in a library made of crystallized music. The palace projected it instantly. Thane, confronted with the undeniable synthesis of Valdoran power and human imagination, broke. He realized his rejection of tradition was a hollow shell, for fear of change isn't preservation, it is abandonment. 6 months later, Thane was the director of cultural preservation, his ears regrowing. The palace now curated Ambassador Kale Memorial Confusion Spaces. As Kale watched Zara explain quantum consciousness to human scientists, he realized that getting lost had been the only way to truly be found.